But this is the way to get there. We've got to start building that ground support that won't go away. Parties come and go, groups come and go. But if you can keep getting those independence-minded individuals, they stay. And that leads to things. Eventually, the parties follow the people.
That's right. And I think independence is part of the culture here in Alberta. It's why people live here. It's why people settled here. For that being left alone mentality, I think, that does translate into a political movement. And whether the mainstream media likes it or not, people expressing separatist and independence-minded ideas is actually pretty mainstream. It might be the one thing we probably all can sort of agree on. I've seen polls where, and it depends on how they would determine what is independent sentiment, but up to 50%, like 1 in 2 Albertans express some form of independent sentiment. That's pretty mainstream. That's more than vote for the UCP or more than vote for the NDP or frankly, more than watch the mainstream media.
Yeah, absolutely. That seed is there. And the definition varies. I mean, that can be from people saying, I just want the premier to stand up more strongly to us, to some people saying we want out altogether and everything in between. But to express that and make Central Canada realize that this support is real, it is solid, and it could blossom from people who just want a premier who's standing up to Ottawa into people who really want Confederation to be dissolved. If Ottawa keeps pushing things the way they are, they can create that tipping point on their own. So, this is a warning shot at the least.
Now, I want to ask you, because I think the Sovereignty Act in Alberta might extinguish some of the separatist movement. Not that it would extinguish separatist mentality or independence mentality, but I think, could serve to absorb some of those people back into the UCP after they saw Jason Kenney as just such a staunch federalist. And I think Danielle Smith is too, but she's at least doing something more than writing strongly worded letters to Justin Trudeau that Justin Trudeau throws in the garbage as soon as he gets them.
Well, and what we need is the fight. The thing is, sure, some people are going to say, oh, good, the Sovereignty Act will get us there. Well, people said that about the Alberta agenda. I write that in the book. When Stephen Harper and all the rest came out with all those planks in this Alberta agenda, and that really deflated the Alberta Independence Party that I was leading at that time. So, we don't need this. Look at this. Stephen Harper and all these political scientists are going to fix it. And Harper, I mean, certainly was a good prime minister in many ways, didn't implement a single thing with his majority of that. So I think independence advocates got to realize we have to hit our head on these walls a few more times before people realize it. So if the Sovereignty Act aspects of it work and Ottawa backs off, great. But if it doesn't work, that's where you start getting the more permanent supporters of independence movements and things such as that. It's when the Conservatives fail that creates the long-term independent supporters, not with the Liberals, because we expected of them.
Now, switching gears a little bit, I wanted to talk to you about your latest article in the Epoch Times, because you talk about the double standard within the judicial system and how different groups of people are treated within the legal system. And for me, it all sort of comes down to, is this in the interest, which I think is how it should be, is prosecuting this crime in the interest of the public? And that's why I look at these COVID cases and say, well, Alberta is short. Some say 50 Crown prosecutors. We don't have time to be wasting on COVID scofflaws when rapists and wife beaters and burglars are going to be walking free because they sort of run out the clock on their prosecution. But it's more than that, as you point out in your article with Epoch Times, that they are choosing to specifically not prosecute certain things based on a political agenda.
And very serious ones. The one that I started with was with a video, just because it was so stark, of that gentleman going bananas on an anti-lockdown demonstrator and smashing his vehicle with a bicycle and smashing the windows out of it. And you could see the aggressor's face in clear detail. He was detained. And they decided, no, we don't think we can get a conviction. Oh, come on, you guys. Of course you could. This was violent. This was an angry man. This is a person who could be dangerous. We're not talking about a litter bug or something. And they said, no, we're not going to touch that. Or the other one was the case in the hospital with that woman who, wasn't properly masked. The security guards take her around a corner. I mean, that was chilling. And then the video turns away from it. A security guard with a remote video turns the camera away, and then you see her prone body being led away. She was killed. No charges. Well, they were charged, and the judge dismissed it. Said, right. No, we don't have something to go with this.
Oh, hey, what you just saw there is a clip from my weekly full-length show, The Gun Show. It airs on Wednesday, but this is the internet. You can watch it whenever you feel like. You just have to become a subscriber to our paywalled premium content. Just go to rebelnewsplus.com to become a member today.